All right, Tennessee Football Fix. Start with Thursday night's game with the Titans. Looked really good on defense and looked pretty solid on offense. Yeah, we lost, but I would rather play well and lose to a quality team early in the season than play poorly and win and sort of develop bad habits. So, uh, you know, you know, Pittsburgh's defending champs. They showed why. I think if we play as well as we did this past Thursday, we'll get us another crack at them in the playoffs. So I'm not really upset. I think we missed Albert Hainsworth, especially late in the game. It looked like our front four was really tired, and it also seemed like we needed to blitz Roethlisberger towards the end. He had way too much time, but at the same time, I I'm not going to question Chuck Cecil's decisions. I'm not going to question Jeff Fisher's decisions. But it seemed like our line was a little winded towards the end. But I think over the course of the year, they'll once they get in better shape. Because I don't think they played a full game at all during the preseason. Once they get in better shape, they should be okay. Also, too, speaking of the preseason, our defense played way stiffer than they did at all during the preseason, so that was encouraging. Also, Kerry Collins looked good. Chris Johnson looked fast, and so we were pretty aggressive. So I'm not going to criticize the Titans, even though we lost. I think we'll bounce back. The Texans did not look good today, and I think we'll come out this time next week 1-1, and with and 1-0 in the division, and that's what's important. Moving on, the Vols played really great, especially on defense. Well, really only on defense. Our running game looked good. There was a speed and an intensity that I had not seen from the Vols in a long time. I mean, there were a lot of big hits, and not just by our defense. We looked pretty solid against UCLA. I don't know how good UCLA is, in comparison to the rest of the Pac-10, but they look like a pretty good team. Offensively, we were very stagnant. Crompton looked bad most of the game. He looked better towards the end, but still was not, not great. I don't know what's going to happen with him. I mean, are we going to try to put Nick Stevens in or whatever? I'm one of those people. I try to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, whether it's Jonathan Crompton or whoever. But it seems like the honeymoon's over. I don't know if he's going to last throughout the season, because he didn't just make bad throws, he made bad decisions. But defensively, looked great. I love the attitude, love the intensity. And I don't think we're going to go into Gainesville and beat Florida, but I think we can give them a nice physical game. Hopefully they'll wake up sore on Sunday morning and know that whenever they play UT in the future, a Lane Kiffin coach team, that they're in for a tough physical football game. So, we'll probably come out this time next week 1-2, but if we play with the speed and the intensity that we did this past week, I think we're on our way to sort of becoming one of the elite SEC teams again. So, I'm fine with that. Speaking of SEC teams, Vanderbilt against LSU. Look, no one expected them to go in there and win, except for Vanderbilt and the girlfriends and mothers of the Vanderbilt players. But they played well. Bobby Johnson, one of the best coaches in the SEC, one of the best coaches in college football. It's going to be hard for Vanderbilt to compete with an LSU, especially in opening, in the opening game of the season, or at the beginning of the season. But defense as always looks pretty solid. The offense didn't look bad. I mean, they were just playing against LSU, and I don't know too many teams that can do, can go into LSU and win at the beginning of the year. Maybe Florida, maybe USC, and that's pretty much it. So, good job from Vanderbilt. So, hats off to them. Now let's go to the game of the week. All right, I may be a little bit biased here because I used to teach at MTSU, but it was good to see them really, smack Memphis around. I mean, the blackout game, very hyped up. We looked good. We looked fast. I'm wondering where MTSU fits in if we're talking about top college football programs in the state of Tennessee. I don't know if they're better than Vanderbilt, but the two of them are right up there with each other. So MTSU, a very good mid-sized program. I mean, it's a very good location in the South, in a place that is close to a city like Nashville. Murfreesboro's close to a city like Nashville, so there's it's not like it's in the middle of nowhere, so we can attract recruits that way, and also Rick Stockstill, another good coach, and he's he's put together and really turning around the culture there. So it's very encouraging in terms of when you're looking at Tennessee football as a state, and well, that's pretty much it for this week's Tennessee Football Fix. Join me next week when we talk about when we sort of recap next week's game. So all right.